I don't know what happened. You're streaming now. There we are on YouTube.
You're live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook. We are live. Let me just go so I can see everybody's comments today.
Is it live? I'm not getting you. What the hell?
I want to see your comments.
Oh, here we go. Well, it's a lot of lag today.
Is there a lot of lag today?
20 seconds.
That is a lot of lag. Hey, Cheryl Campbell. How are you?
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
She is on YouTube, yeah.
We see it in real time here for some reason, especially Facebook. Facebook gets so laggy sometimes. You see it cutting out.
It does. It does. Sometimes it does. There we go.
Hey, voice in the back. Hi, Cheryl. It's Frank. I push buttons and type things.
I push buttons and type things.
Hi, Cody.
Wow. Hey, Cody, how are you? Open up that so I can see it better. There we go. I guess I should refresh this page. Daniel Wright, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Daniel. I know, but voice in the back sounds funnier. Yuck. I'm not sure whether to take that as a compliment or not, so I'll just take it as a compliment. Thank you, Cheryl.
He's a little strange that way, Cheryl.
It's worse. Somebody put a microphone in front of me. It was a bad idea.
Oh, it wasn't a bad idea. It wasn't a horrible idea.
Share the video. Share.
Oh, goodness me. Yes, it is Friday. We got lots to talk about today. Some good, some bad. Frank has an echo. That's because he's being picked up by my mic as well, Daniel. That's why.
I'll try to speak lower.
There we go. Cheryl says most of my friends are strange.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. That's true. If you ever have met any of my other friends, they are all very strange.
They make strange look normal.
They do. Yes.
Have I met many of your friends? I'm not sure.
My back home friends are different than my friends out here.
Of course, because they're over there and not over here.
Well, partly yes, but how do you even follow that?
I don't know. Oh.
Hey, there's Rudy. Hello, Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
No, it's been, yeah, no, my friends back home, they know me in a whole different light than my friends here do. They've seen me at my best and seen me at my worst.
You've known them longer.
I have. Yeah, it's different because when I'm home, I'm Rick. When I go back home to my hometown, I'm Rick. Nobody ever calls me Richard.
Oh, really? I call you Richard because I had a friend named Rick who was not a friend anymore.
Well, that's like, that's like my wife. She only calls me Richard. She refuses to call me Rick because she had a boyfriend named Rick.
So it's uncomfortable, right? It's kind of.
It's very uncomfortable, yeah.
Hi, Rudy.
Hey, there's Don. Hello, Don.
Don's here too. We got Rudy Jetton on Facebook there.
Cheryl says they watched me grow into what I am today, a fat, gray-haired, balding guy.
Nice boobs, though. Oops.
Yeah, I have nice boobs.
Family show.
I have nice moobs.
That's good.
Nice moobs. No, you can call me Richard, Rudy. You go right ahead. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Rudy Yetton. I was looking at our numbers today, and the U.S. is beating us in views
So more people in the U.S. are viewing the show?
More people in the U.S. It goes U.S., Canada, Germany is number 3.
Well, the U.S. certainly needs a new hobby, so that's actually a good thing.
That's true.
Get more,
Yeah,
get more of those kids into making and playing less video games.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Yeah, there's all kinds of things going on there. Yeah, what else we got going on? Yeah, I'm getting lag and all kinds of stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, there's audio lag as well. Yeah, between on YouTube, there's some audio lag. There's about a frame or two behind the video also, so it probably looks lip synced. You know, like poorly lip synced.
Lip synced. It's like a bad Godzilla movie.
You guys just turn off the volume and just have your own conversations while we're talking, as if you're saying what you're saying. No, never mind. Listen to Richard.
German printing nerd says, "Say a prayer for my whammo." My whamho. It's wanhao, but
what happened to it, Don?
It's dead.
But that doesn't really say anything. What happened?
Hey, there's Donald Kratzer. There is an audio echo. I'm hearing.
Oh, it's probably because of the mics. The two mics are.
Yeah, it's probably because of the mics.
Yelling.
You can turn off that mic if you want. Just hit the mute for that mic. No, the mute on the control panel. It should be. Yeah, there you go. Is the echo gone now? We've only got about 3 minutes to go. Hello, there's Not Yet Gigi. Naughty.
Turn off Rick's mic.
Thanks. Thanks. Okay, it's perfect now. See, turn off your mic and it's perfect.
Yeah, because this mic is picking up.
Yeah, it's picking up me because I'm loud.
I would have to have a mic here that's unidirectional.
Yeah, dance is no more echo either. See, this is why we do a pre-show, so we can get all this stuff out of the way.
I'll bet you if I brought my custom mic from home, I could get rid of that echo.
Probably.
That's what it's for.
If I had a directional mic, not this lav that picks up everything in the room, like if I had a desktop mic, then it would be different because we used to use desktop mics in a show that I did previous to this.
I have 3 really good microphones. I keep saying I'm going to bring it in, and I keep forgetting.
So we're down to 2 minutes. So quickly, I'm going to start the show kind of on a sour note today, just so you guys know, but it's going to get better by the end. There's something I want to talk about. It's not really first layer related, but I think it's important that I talk about this. TGIF and long weekend, Morgan Pierce says, yes, absolutely. Derek Matthews, hello, sir. Yeah, so we've got no show on Monday because it's a holiday here, and I'm going to talk about that during the show too, and we'll see if you guys want me to do a show on Monday from my home. I can certainly do that, bring home some better lighting and stuff, so we have so I'm lit a little better, and I look a little sexier.
So put some makeup on you there.
Put some makeup on. Yeah.
Make you look like a movie star.
You're going to need a lot of makeup for that.
Well, there's a lot of makeup out there, so.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
There is.
So they either, I can't hear Frank, but if you want to hear Frank, you got to have an echo, but you can't have echo, so. Good, I don't have to talk anymore.
It's a holiday here too, Daniel says. President's Day.
Did he hear me say makeup?
The German printing nerd says, makeup always help.
I don't wear makeup personally. I don't know what they do over in Germany, those boys, but I don't know. If it helps, it helps, I guess.
I don't wear, well, that's not true. That's not necessarily true because I have some powder here from CoverGirl. It's professional loose powder. It's translucent for fair skin like me.
20 seconds.
And it helps take off the shine off my forehead when I'm not wearing a hat.
Okay.
All right, 10 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2. Hey, welcome to the First Layers Coffee with Rich. This is our Friday afternoon live stream, which we do every Friday. We also do one on Monday for those of you that are just new to us and have not yet watched all of our past episodes. First and foremost, let's get the business out of the way. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe. We are only 14 people away from reaching our 500 subscriber goal. So hit the bell icon as well so you get notified every time we do a brand new episode or live stream. I'm going to start the show this week on a little bit of a downer, and I'll tell you why. There was something that happened in the States this week that I'm sure everybody's pretty much heard about. There was an unfortunate mass shooting at a school in Florida, and I'm not going to get political here. I'm not going to talk about who the gunman was. All I'm going to say is that my heart goes out to the families that are dealing with this tragedy and the whole community that are dealing with this tragedy. 17 people lost their lives in this incident. It was senseless. It was unnecessary, and I think it could have been stopped. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But for that reason, we're not going to talk about any kind of Patreon today. I'm not even going to bother with that. It's just, it doesn't make sense to talk about that. But for those people that watch the show from the U.S. and from Florida, you know, we do sympathize with what you're going through. And, you know, just know that our show's here to kind of take you away from reality for a half an hour, 3 times a week. All right, so let's get into what we're talking about. As you guys know, on Wednesday's show, I did some laser cutting. And I cut a bunch of stuff, and it's down here on my desk. And down here we've got, well, there's the subscribe sign, but we'll get that out of the way. Down here on my desk, I've got some of the things that I laser cut. I did some coasters. I did them in cork, which came out okay. I did them in acrylic, which came out okay. And I did them in some wood, some plywood, and not the great, not as good as some of the others that we did, but you know, they're okay. We have some of these sets available. I'm going to be giving one set away. This is a case that I 3D printed for them. This is just a sample right now, but you can see they fit in there really nicely. And you can get 6 in a case. So I'm going to redesign, I've redesigned the case actually a little bit so that this profile matches the profile on the top. And I'm probably going to put the logo up there as well, just so you guys can see that. But laser cutting was a lot of fun. I'm learning more, and I know during the episode I made a bunch of mistakes in telling you guys how to do it. But it is a real learning curve, and I'm going to do another episode on it real soon. This is the Millennium Falcon clock that I am going to make, or Millennium Falcon etched in acrylic that I'm going to make into a clock, which will hang here in my office. I thought that looked really nice. And then I did my logo on acrylic. And that doesn't look too bad. It's not as bright as, say, the coasters are. The coasters etched a little bit deeper, so it looks a little better. So today I went back and did a new sign with a little bit thicker acrylic, and that's what the new sign looks like. And now this sign will get some LEDs underneath. I'm going to use a strip of bright white LEDs so it'll light up the sign. I'm going to 3D print the stand for this as well, and I think that should look really good when it's all done. I'm just going to look at questions here.
Spring here, he says, I'm looking to purchase a TiVo Tornado. For some input there.
TiVo Tornado, yes. TiVo Tornadoes are a great printer. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about them. I've never used one, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. And any printer that you're thinking of buying, let me go back to my camera here. I think, yeah, any printer that you're thinking about buying, really look at the forums. Find out what upgrade parts people are making for them and why they're making upgrade parts. This is the best advice I can give you. If you decide not to go with the TiVo, keep looking, look into the forums, look into Facebook. There's plenty of groups surrounding different printers out there. So I would go and check a little bit deeper into those. But as far as I can tell you from not having ever owned a TiVo Tornado, I think they're a pretty decent machine from what I've heard. So might be a good choice for you. What else do we got here? Morgan, it would be interesting to see the laser cutting tool head that you can add to a CR10 on a future show. Yes, absolutely it would. And I'm going to try and get one. I'm working on actually getting my own CR10 right now. So we're going to do that. I want to address something here that came in on a comment that came in on YouTube from Jason Chi, pardon me. Jason Chi asks if I can do a video on a firmware upgrade to increase the max temp to 300 degrees. And I am going to do a firmware upgrade video either this coming Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Those are shows that really need to be recorded, so they take a little bit more time than just doing the live stream. So, Mark Baker, hello. So we're going to tackle a few different things still related to the CR10. I'm going to be doing an upgrade again on the CR10 because I want to add auto bed leveling to it. So that's going to be another upgrade that we're going to cover in relation to the CR10 as well. CR10 is a great machine. I'm printing another helmet on there right now. What I'm printing is the Boba Fett helmet, which I found on Thingiverse, and it's a great little helmet, or big helmet. There's a few parts that I have to still print off once the helmet is done, and the helmet casing is going to take 85 hours. So by Monday or Tuesday when we come back in, because we're not open here at Spool 3D on Monday, we are going to be open again on Tuesday. So Monday, I want to ask you guys, and both on Facebook and on YouTube, if you guys want to see a show on Monday from my home. I'll bring home some lights, and that way I'll be better lit and it won't look so dark. But if you guys just want to hang out on Monday, we'll just do kind of an impromptu Q&A on Monday, because I don't have any printers at home, so I can't do anything that way. But if you guys want to do a hangout sort of thing on Monday on Facebook and YouTube, a live stream, put hell yes down in the comments, both on YouTube and on Facebook. So yesterday, Cheryl from Distinctive Impressions asked me about energy consumption on the CR10 running 24/7. And I told her it uses less power than a computer, which is great, but how did I determine that? Well, we have measured that. We have measured the consumption of the printer to a computer, because my computers are running all the time. And I've done tests like this at home on my other printers. And I know that the CR10 does use less power overall than your home computer if you left your home computer on 24/7. So most printers today are energy efficient based on the power supply that you're using. So just bear in mind that if you're running a printer farm, yes, it's going to consume a lot more energy. But if you're only running one printer, it's going to use less energy than your current computer, because you got to understand that you're dealing with 350 watts on your printer side, when on your computer side you're averaging anywhere from 500 to 1,000 watts for any given computer. On the low end, you're about 550, maybe 600 watts. And on the top end, you're at 1,000, maybe 1,100 or 1,200 watts. So by the nature of the power supply alone, you are using less energy with your 3D printer than you are with your home computer. We get a hell yes from Rudy about Monday, so it looks like we're starting to get there. This is a silly question. Is the TiVo made for American outlets, North American outlets, Cody's asking. And yes, it is. It can be plugged into a North American outlet from what I understand.
You can buy adapters anyways.
Yeah, you can buy adapters too. Smaller, yeah, Morgan puts it great here. Smaller, low power electronics, smaller fans, etc., all use less.
So is that what the TiVo does? Is they're using smaller electronics? Or is it...
Well, they're using smaller power supplies. So on average, any given 3D printer that you're going to buy is going to either have a 350 watt, anywhere from a 250 to a 400 watt power supply. So by its nature alone, it is going to use less energy. So Mark Brennan wants me to do one from home. So we are going to, okay, Monday it's official. 1:30, we're going to do an impromptu live stream from my home. I'll bring home some lights so I look a little bit better. So that's great. Now let's talk about a new filament that we are going to be carrying here at Spool 3D. This is called TPLA. Capital T-PLA. This is a 1.5 millimeter filament. This is black. This comes to us from Lanketa or Lanketa. It is a different type of PLA. What this is, what TPLA is it's technically stands for tough PLA. This is 6 times stronger than regular PLA. So this is a premium PLA that you can get through Spool 3D. Recommendations for temperature of the nozzle, anywhere from 190 degrees to 230. So it's comparable to regular PLA, and the bed is 0 to 40 Celsius. So, you know, it's a pretty decent PLA. It's got a stable melting point, good round shape, uniform diameter tolerance, and consistent color. And from what I can see, here's another advantage to this. Do you remember how we keep talking about how to store your filament? And everybody asks me this question on a regular basis. How do I store my filament? Well, with this filament, it has a Ziploc top. So you cut off just below the seal line here, and it's got a Ziploc top. So you can put it right back in this bag, and it's got a couple of desiccants right in the center there. So yeah, this is the only thing I don't like about this is the reel. See how it's a black reel? I can't tell how much filament I have left. And it's got no holes in it. So I can't tell how much filament I've got left at any given time other than going up and inspecting the reel. So I want you guys to be aware of that. But it is available from Spool 3D at $34 Canadian. So if we've got anybody in the US that's watching, it might be a little cheaper based on the dollar. So TPLA, tough PLA, 6 times stronger than regular PLA. And I wanted to quickly touch on that. This is something else I want to quickly touch on. These are the linear rails. I'll go back to my overhead cam here. These are the linear rails I'm going to be using on my rebuild, which is going to be coming up soon. We just got these in. I'm going to be using one 350 millimeter rail and 4 400 millimeter rails to control the motion on my 3D printer. And this particular one, the 350 millimeter, is for the X-axis where the extruder goes, and this should work out just fine. So we're going to have a big look at that coming up, and we'll show you guys slowly how we put that together. That's going to take a few episodes. What else do I want to quickly talk about? Let's take a look and see if we got any questions. There's Jerry Knapp. Hello, sir. No more questions. Wow, you guys are good.
You're too informative.
I'm too informative. One other thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about this because there seems to be some confusion about filament and how it gets tangled. Now, this is a pretty tightly wound roll, so it's pretty hard to tangle this. I've got some other stuff in here that's pretty easy to tangle. Let me just grab something out of the case here. Here we go. Okay. I don't store my filaments like I should, and that's a bad habit for me. Don't get into that habit. I'm going to answer that question right away. So normally what you want to do is find the end for starters, and I should be on my upper camera still. You can see right here that there's a little bit of crossover of the filament, and if you get crossover, you're going to get tangles. What you should do, and I'm going to take that tangle out of here. This is the wooden PLA that we have here. Move that out of the way. So this can get tangled, and right now it doesn't look like it's tangled too badly. No, it doesn't look like it's tangled too badly. Very seldom are you going to get PLA or any filament that is tangled out of the factory. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but the chances of you actually having one is very slim. It can happen. It has happened. But one out of every, I don't know, out of every 100 rolls, that's not a bad ratio. So what you want to do, on every reel, you'll see there's these two little holes. I'll look at the ones on this side. See these two little holes? What you want to do is you want to run your filament through those little holes. Some reels have more holes, some reels have less. Just run your filament through. When you're taking your filament off the roll, off your printer to put it away, don't let go of your filament like this. Because if you let go of your filament like that, you have a greater chance of tangling your filament. Always keep your finger on, or fingers on the filament, put it through the hole, thread it back through, and there you go. That will help to eliminate tangles, and I didn't do that very well, but that should help to eliminate tangles that you may have in your filament. Okay, now let's go back to this question here. I'll go back to my proper camera. Cheryl's asking, what equipment or program do you use to watch your print remotely and also have the ability to cancel the print from afar? Cheryl, that is Octoprint, which runs on a PC, I believe. It'll run on a PC. Mostly what people are doing is putting it on a Raspberry Pi with some sort of camera, whether it be an old webcam or they're buying a Raspberry Pi camera. They're using Octoprint, which is its own sort of operating system. There's plenty of videos out there on Octoprint. So that's how you can set it up so that you can monitor it on your phone or on your tablet. There are plenty of Android and Apple applications that you can download to monitor Octoprint on your phone. Recommended fix for when you have a tangled roll. Yes, when you have a tangled roll, Morgan, here is the way that you do it. I'm going to show you. You unroll it till you find the tangle. When you find the tangle, I'm going to just keep unrolling here a little bit. See if I have a tangle in this one. I don't think I do, but I don't have a tangle in this one. But once you come to the tangle, you want to take those loops off the reel. Just loosen them up a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Is take them off a little bit, and then just take that whole section right off. Then hold the filament and rewind that reel. That is the best way to get rid of any tangles in your filament. If you happen to get one, that's the best way to do it. So, and my wife can attest to me having a few tangles in my filament over time, where I've messed up a print because I wasn't watching it. What is Raspberry Pi? See, this filament should be in a bag, and it's not. Yeah, just rewind it, and there you go. So I have to bag that, put that in a bag. A Raspberry Pi is a microcomputer. Do I have one here on my desk? No, I do not have one on my desk. There is one on Derek's desk. If you can quickly run and grab it for me. A Raspberry Pi is just a little mini it's a prototyping computer. It's in a green and white case. And a prototyping computer, what you can do with it is you can learn Linux. It's this is it right here. I'll just pull it out of this case. It's a very small little computer. It's a little tough getting out of this case, but bear with me. This case doesn't bend so well.
Very well designed case, though. It looks really good.
It is a very well designed case. I give the author of this, there we go.
Where did you get the case from?
I actually downloaded it and printed it myself. So back to this camera here. This is a Raspberry Pi computer. It's a little mini computer, and I just knocked off one of my heat sinks, which I'll just stick that back on. They don't come with the heat sinks unless you get them with a kit. This one obviously has been used very well. You plug your camera in here. This is if you want to plug into another monitor of sorts, and that's all there is to it. It's a credit card size computer, and you load Linux on here, and if you go to raspberrypi.org, there's all kinds of information about the Raspberry Pi there, and what you can do with the Raspberry Pi. Now, I built this case for it, which I put a fan in that I can plug right into the 5-volt rail, which is right there, and then I just simply put this back in the case, lining it all up again. And this is a friction fit case, so that's it. That's all there is to it. You don't have to have a case for it, but it sure helps. And yeah, you just add a little camera to that, get yourself a power supply for it, and you're all set. I believe it uses a 6-volt power supply. And you can usually find that wherever you're buying your Raspberry Pi. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them directly from, excuse me, you can get them directly from raspberrypi.org. Element 14, there's lots of places that you can buy a Raspberry Pi. Okay, my roll that came was tangled and had to do exactly what you just did. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, sometimes they come tangled from the factory. Not very often though. Hey, Derek Matthews. So why do you need a microcomputer for camera? Well, you don't really need a microcomputer for camera. You can plug a camera into your PC if your PC is right beside your printer. It just makes it a little bit convenient so that you don't have to have a larger PC or a laptop or anything like that connected to your printer. This can actually control the printer remotely. So it's a nice little neat package. I think Raspberry Pis in Canada run for about 50 bucks. So yeah, it's a good little tool. If you want to learn more about Raspberry Pis and you want me to do an episode on Raspberry Pi, just send me a notification or an email, and I'll certainly do one. I see Jason Dali. What's up? He says.
Daniel says he uses 9-volt power on his Pi. Does that make any big of a difference?
9-volt power is a little too much. You can burn out your Raspberry Pi. They're only rated for 6 volts.
It says it's more stable.
If you're getting stability out of it, great. But
If it works, it works.
if it works, it works. Yeah. I've never used a 9 volt on my Pi because I have heard that they can't burn out with anything over 6 volts. I think you can go up to 7 volts and still be safe. Check out LogiCircle, expensive but good use for 3D printer if you just want to plug in a camera. Okay, there you go. Mark Brennan says it would be cool if I did a Pi episode or 2, and I will. Okay, so we're going to put that up on the board up there for a Pi or 2 episode, and we'll talk about hooking up a Raspberry Pi. The reason I haven't done one yet is because there's so many good tutorials out there, and but yeah, I guess I should do one because my audience is different than other people's. Yeah. So yeah, I'll do one. I'll show you guys how to set up a Raspberry Pi for working with your 3D printers.
Always Google.
Yeah, Jerry Knapp, you're right.
The minute you have a question before you do anything else.
So it looks like people want me to do a Pi episode, so I'm going to do a Pi episode. So I think I got to everything today that I wanted to talk about. What do you guys think of this acrylic sign? Do you like it? I'm going to use it when I go to Maker Faire this year. I'm going to have it lit up. I'm actually going to light it up on the desk here. So we'll do a little farther shot. And this was fun. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with this laser engraver and cutter. And so far, I can light up, or I can cut through 1/4 inch material with it. So I'm doing good there. All right, so
Geraldine's making apple pie.
oh, good,
So
good.
that we can eat apple pie while we talk about the Raspberry Pi.
All right, we can eat apple pie while we talk about the Raspberry Pi. Okay, that's my wife making making Raspberry
Apple
Pi,
pie.
making apple pie. Very cool. Oh, I can eat some pie. Yep.
123D is not a slicer. Do you use Octoprint as a slicer, or do you use something else?
123D is not a slicer. I actually use, for my slicer, I use Simplify 3D, but you can use Cura, you can use Slicer, you can use Repetier. You can even slice in, what is that other program that I never remember what the name of it is? It's one of the oldest programs out there.
Repetier host, and it works with a bunch of slicers.
Yeah.
You can choose different slicers. Simplify, Slicer, where the E is a 3.
Where the E is a 3?
Yeah, Slicer.
Yeah, Slicer, yeah. That's the one that Prusa uses.
It's a terrible piece of software. I don't like it.
Prusa has revamped it for their use, but yeah, Slicer with the 3 in the name is, you know, it's not bad. I use Cura when I do tutorials. I like to use Cura because that's mostly what you get with your 3D printers now, is some version of Cura. Simplify 3D is a purchase-only program. Just printed the cube measuring cup from Thingiverse on my CR10S, and it turned out amazing. Used transparent orange PLA. Awesome. The measuring cube, I am going to, I'm actually going to do one because my wife wanted, I showed my wife the measuring cup, and I think she wants me to make one. So if you have photos and you have all kinds of things for your 3D printing, post them over on our Facebook page. That's the First Layer group. Become a member of the group. It's great. We'd love to have you over there. We'd love to see more of you over on our YouTube channel as well. And with that saying, again, Monday I'm going to be at home, and we're going to set up there and do a little impromptu live stream. We'll just come hang out, ask questions, answer questions, and we'll go from there. And with that said, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go have somewhat of a long weekend with my wife and her family. And we'll see you guys again on Monday, I guess, from home. See you Monday. Bye.